new moon energy. Who follows the moon cycles? If you're anything like me, this one is a cracker. Lots of fresh things, lots of things starting to move forward, and lots of endings and lots of letting go. And if you're anything like me, lots of crying, lots of tears, lots of releasing. That's a Pisces full moon for you. And if you're wondering maybe why you've been very emotional, putting up my hand, putting up my, honesty that I've been releasing a lot. So if you're anything like me, let me know if that resonates. But what I wanted to come in today and share with you was actually some people have been asking me in my Upswing Mastermind, like, Amanda, what books do you read? What are you reading at the moment? And sometimes you guys see me on Instagram reading books. I am a big book fan. In fact, my husband just said the other day, we should have a cull of your books. And maybe in this releasing energy, I could let go of some books, but I seem to accumulate them because reading, who else here's a learner? I'm a lifelong learner. I'm a lifelong seeker, and reading is essential to be successful in business. To be constantly exposed to new ideas and modes of thinking, and not just in business, even more so as a coach. Now, I used to carry kind of almost a little bit of shame or overwhelm or whatever that might be because I've always got so many books on the go. And, I saw a mentor of mine recently talking about how she has a pile of books. And I was like, oh God, permission given. Like, it just felt so good for that to be okay, that I always have, 5, even maybe 10 books on the go. But I have a variety of books on the go. I'm never just like stuck in one genre or stuck in one book. And the books that I have at the moment are ranging. I have always business books. I'm a lifelong, 20 something years of being in online marketing. Now I'll always be reading and a master of my craft in that way. And I think mastering our craft, whether that's health books or, spiritual books, whatever modality you're into, I think that's just part and parcel of being passionate and bringing our passions to the world. But I also always have a fiction book. Sometimes my fiction books take longer to get through, but they are my pleasure, they are my joy. And anyone who knows my teaching, we're a lot about feminine energy and receiving, and a good fiction book for me is the best way to switch off the mind and just drop into that receiving mode. At the moment, a friend just gave me the Jessica Simpson, what's it called? Oh, I just forgot the name of it, black cover. She just gave that to me last weekend, and I'll be honest, I don't know anything really about Jessica Simpson, but I love nothing more than a biography. Seeing how people operate and hearing the way they think and their life experience, that is what I'm diving into and excited to get started on. Then I always have mindset books. Always, coming from a coach, master coaching arena, I'm always reading the therapy books and modalities in that way. I've always got my spiritual Gene Keys, my Gene Keys Bible. It's huge. I read it every single night. It's the last thing I read before bed, always studying that. And sometimes I'm into the wealth consciousness books. It's just really important to keep ourselves stimulated, to keep our minds active, to keep us expanding. Because what I watch is so many of us getting frustrated and stuck in our old ways and our old patterns and thinking that, that there's not more out there, and there's so much more out there. So I wanted to give you permission, first and foremost, that it's okay to have lots of books on the go like I do. But why else are reading books like so important? Business, personal, they allow our mind to expand. So not just expansion like I just said, but literally they allow our neural pathways to constantly be being challenged, constantly being rewired, whether it's finding new trends or ideas, or I love to get ideas from different industries and bring them because I understand like grassroots marketing, so I can bring them in instead of just like copying what I saw someone do Instagram yesterday. I'll get fresh ideas from different industries, and that's what helps you be fresh and be a leader. But also, the wealth consciousness books, a large part of my teaching in Upswing Mastermind is really studying some of those wealth consciousness books. And the point is to find the pieces you don't believe and allow them to rewire your neural pathways to healthier beliefs around money. So reading books is just so, so important in expanding our literal brain, our brain pathway. Same beliefs create thoughts, create actions, behaviors, results. We just go in the spinning loop. You know, we're like a computer. I think this happens all day, every day. And a good book can be a great pattern interrupter in helping us rewire. Secondly, like, there is not a top CEO in the world who does not read books. Bill Gates is known to read 50 books a year. Mark Zuckerberg reads at least one book every 2 weeks. All these top CEOs, mentors of mine, like I said, going through lots and lots of books. I actually do not know. I've been in many of the world's top online masterminds with many of the greats, and they all bring the books to our sessions. They all bring what they are reading. And reading is just part of being a top CEO. And whether you want to be a CEO of a company or a CEO of your own girl boss business, it is a really integral part. And we should always be modeling the greats. And the greats are reading. So the last thing I wanted to share with you about reading books, have you ever thought about doing the 5-hour rule? Spending 5 hours a week on deliberate learning. I've talked about Brendan Burchard with you guys a lot. He's always like, what's your personal learning curriculum? So the 5-hour rule involves spending 5 hours a week or 1 hour a day deliberately learning. Now, if you're in something like the Upswing Mastermind, you know, you've put yourself in a position to be learning every day. I've shared with you guys that I just recently invested in a program, and that has upped my deliberate, intentional, held accountable learning to a whole other level. But learning can also come from books. So setting aside time to give your full attention to learning and development without being distracted by other work is a really core part of continuing not only your expansion as a human to become the best coach, to become the best woman that you are, but also your knowledge as a health coach. So many people tell me they feel like they need another qualification, or, you know, they've got 10 certificates, but they feel like they need more. Go study your favorite nutrition book. Really study it for an hour a day and tell me where you are at the end of the week. So I'm curious, guys. What's on your bedside table? I kind of gave you a little bit of my mismatch of books that I've got there at the moment. What have you guys got? Stacey's saying, learning so much in Upswing Mastermind, only a few weeks in, loving put aside time to learn and develop myself. Yeah, Stacey, I'm getting the same experience from the group that I've just joined, and I always, that's how Upswing's designed, you know, so that you are deliberately learning as well as taking action. The two go together. We're rewiring our brains. So guys, I'd love to hear about your books. I'm always looking for new books. I'm a book geek. Please share with me, not just your business books, share with me your autobiographies, your biographies. I love those the most. Any great fiction books, and of course, mindset coaching books. Let's get a big reading list here in the group, and I can't wait to check them out. Have a great day and have a great week. Bye.